How's it going, everyone? Session here. Welcome to the Dead by Daylight developer update for June of 2024. All right, so with 8.1.0 update approaching, read on as we divulge all the major changes making their way to the game, including updates to killers, perk changes, quality of life improvements, and more. Okay. The Night medium update. Ooh, okay. Added the ability to manually swap between guards. Hey, yo, hold on. Okay, so I guess they must have figured out a formula very well with Vecna that they were able to figure it out for Knight also. Are there any other killers that like have a selection thing? I don't actually know. There's so many to choose from. It's actually kind of hard to think about. Mm, I don't know. I guess not. Anyways, so, dev note, each guard has a specialty, so we've added the ability to choose the right guard for each situation. This will provide a nice boost in power and quality of life. New, patrol paths must be at least 10 meters in length. They added a multiplier to guard hunt time based on the path length. Longer path increases hunt time up to a maximum of 1.5 times the normal duration. When the knight is within 8 meters of his guard, the guard's hunt timer depletes 3 times faster. Oh, wow. What? Dev note, dropping a guard at your feet is in a loop is often the best choice, but leaves little counterplay for the survivor. We've added incentives for longer paths and improved counterplay when someone's being chased by both the knight and the guard at the same time. That's actually so nice because I'll tell you what, the fact that the one thing that I've always disliked is the fact that the guard will be placed down, right? And then is chasing you through one side, and it's so blatantly obvious for the knight to like circle around, and you literally get pincer attacked, and it's completely unavoidable. So the fact that they kind of, it sounds like to me that they created a way so that like the guard will be like patrolling one direction and the knight will go the other way. So like at least it's instead of being like a 2-on-1 scenario, it's like a 1 versus 1 scenario, but it's occurring 2 times. So I actually really like that. I'm so surprised that the 8 meters within the guard thing depletes it faster. I feel like you can argue that this is gonna like significantly like kill the knight's ability to chase, but it does increase the knight's ability, I guess, through like this change to have the guards do like guarding and doing other things instead of like being a second killer tag player sort of thing, you know? So that's interesting. I mean, I'm cool with that. Drop yeah, so I really enjoy that. Change. They reduced the Carnifex's hunt time to 12 seconds from 24. They increased the Jailer's hunt time to 24 from 12. The Carnifex's banner spawn time is 5 seconds and it was 10. And then the Jailer's banner spawn time is 10 seconds, it was 5. Okay. So them switching it makes sense because the Jailer is slower, but usually, like, I guess navigates for longer distance, right? Or at least also chases for longer too. And the Carnifex is like the faster guy, right? And I think he's the one that everyone ends up using in the chase. I actually don't know the. I think there's what the Carnifex and the Assassin, right? So the Carnifex, I think, is the one that people use all the time. They kind of waste the other two to do stuff, but when they're gonna go on like a chase, they use the Carnifex. So I guess that's kind of what it is. Dev note: the Carnifex was previously the best at both breaking things and keeping survivors occupied, making the best choice for multiple scenarios. We've swapped these hunt times and their associated banner spawn times around, making the Jailer the specialist for patrolling and chasing the longest. Yeah, that makes sense actually, because you're gonna have the Jailer's pressure won't be as significant in a chase with the Knight. So like I feel like with the Jailer you can still do like a double pincer attack thing, but the affectation of that is still lesser. Um, and but also the duration for it is going to be longer than the Carnifex. You know what I mean? So with the Carnifex, the pincer thing will be much shorter, but you can kind of like it's possible to do, I'm sure, but the setup for it is definitely going to be trickier and different. So because I think I mean, if you kind of do math, right? If you have like the 12 seconds for the hunt time and then it depleting 3 times faster when you're 8 meters within range, I guess the Carnifex is only going to be around for like 4 seconds, right? That might not be the correct math, but I feel like that's going to be like the basics to it. If it's like 3 times faster, yeah, I guess it's going to be like 4 seconds of hunt time. So same thing with this, like with the Jailer, you have like 8 seconds to be at least on the chase. So if the setup is good, like I guess if you have the knight here and then the survivor's running this way, and then the knight has the guard on this side, um, right? And it kind of forces the healer in between, like dead middle, like so it's like it's guard, survivor, heal, knight. The server might like run like this way, and it's gonna kind of have them both kind of make a triangle instead of it being like a double line with, they're not gonna be doing like this. It'll be more so like if server's over here, they're gonna like chase and kind of pincer attack it that way. So I think that scenario is definitely healthier, and like it'll probably be nicer despite it not seeming. It might seem like a buff, or sorry, a buff for the jailer and a nerf for the Carnifex, but I think the nerf for the Carnifex is larger than the buff for the jailer. Does that make sense? I don't entirely know. I don't really play killer like that. I'm not the best killer. I also don't often see knights when I play survivor, so I don't know. I feel like it'll be an interesting change to see put into place. So we'll find out. They decreased the Carnifex's breaking time to 1.8 seconds from 2. They decreased the assassin's breaking time from 5 seconds to 5 seconds from 6. Okay. Jailer's is 5 seconds from 6 also. The Carnifex's detection range is 10 meters. It was 8. And the same thing with the assassin. The Jailer's detection range was 16 meters. It was 14. Okay, so they increased the range of the detection. So the green circle thing will get larger for all the guards. And the ability for them to break things will be faster. So that's, it's fine. It makes sense though. I mean, at least because like the affectation of it breaking things, it being faster, it kind of like makes sense. That way you kind of use the guards for more utility stuff coverage versus like doing the chase. Nice. um, Thank you for that. Map of the Realm and Pillaged Mead were fan favorite add-ons, so we've incorporated some of their effects into the base kit. Oh, got it. Okay. We reviewed many of the Knight's add-ons to bring the strongest and weakest add-ons closer together. Okay. Hey, Night Change, it almost seems like a rework. It's not like a major update, but it definitely seems like a little bit of it's like a mini rework, if anything, with the guards. So it doesn't really change too much, like from the Knight's perspective, but for the guard perspective, it like works, so I get it. Singularity, another medium update. Okay. Taking control of a biopod will now cause it to aim at the nearest survivor within line of sight. Taking control of a biopod will now cause it to aim. You have aim assist with the biopod? Okay. Um, Interesting. Okay. Taking control of a biopod will now cause it to aim at the nearest survivor within line of sight. After 0.25 seconds, targeting progress now decays over the next half second. What? After 0.25 seconds, targeting progress now decay. Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't ever see Singularity. I think in my entire lifeline of playing this game since Singularity's release, I've seen that killer like 4 times. So I have no idea what that. I don't have a clue what that means. If someone can explain to me, like please do. I would like to understand what that is. When controlling a biopod, survivors now only glow if they can be targeted. Oh, okay. That's kind of like a nice quality of life change. Decrease the biopod's targeting cooldown after slipstreaming survivor to 3 seconds. It was 3.5. Decrease biopod targeting cooldown. Oh, is that when you after the teleport? I think that's what that is, right? Okay. Improved UI when using biopods and when shooting with the killer. Okay. Dev note, the Singularity can be hard to learn but deadly when mastered, so we've made some adjustments to make targeting survivors with biopods easier. These changes won't have a significant effect on those who have already mastered Singularity. I don't know if that's true, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's cool though, so I'll take it. Singularity is a cool killer. I mean, I have never I can tell you with certainty I've never escaped Singularity. I feel like people put Singularity in like if there was like a tier list, right? I think people say that Singularity is like mid tier. However, I've never seen a match in the 4 that I've played and maybe like the 10 that I've watched that the Singularity was like dunked on by survivors. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the Singularity is like a super high tier killer, but just doesn't get played because the power is weird. I guess I don't know. Anyways, new they added the ability to destroy the currently controlled biopod. Oh, interesting. And it changes that the killer cannot hear audio by default when controlling a biopod. Oh, you can't hear. Okay, I'm sure. Some quality of improvements. Biopod now have audio without needing an add-on. Oh, it's an add-on. Oh, I guess if you can like hear footsteps and whatnot. Gotcha. Or if they're injured too. And you can now destroy a biopod from a distance as long as it's not disabled. Oh, okay. So if it's EMP, you can't destroy it. Got it. The killer now receives killer instinct when a survivor is slipstreamed. Really? Does the killer need that though? I feel like the killer doesn't need that. That sounds kind of like an overstep of, I mean, that sounds like a buff. Um so I don't know. I mean, we'll take it if anything. The last controlled biopod has its aura revealed in yellow for 10 seconds. It was 5. Oh, interesting. Okay. Switching between biopods and the Singularity can be disorienting, so we've made some changes to help players get their bearings and find targets. I guess that's because I guess the changes for Singularity so far kind of implicate the idea that like people want to try and play Singularity, but they struggle to because he's very complicated to deal with in the moment. So I guess they're like lowering the ladder so that people can actually like try and pick up the killer. So I mean that's cool. New Singularity gains a 3% haste while in overclock. Okay. Removed. Overclock's duration no longer scales with the number of subsumed survivors. Oh, interesting. Okay. Increased overclock's base duration to 5.7. It was 4.7. Okay. Stuns caused by perks, such as Head On and Blast Mine, during overclock mode will now cause overheat. Interesting. Okay. Wait, but isn't overheat the power that makes him kind of like immune to like? Doesn't he like break pallets and whatnot when he does that? Wait, I gotta go check that. Oh no. Overheat it makes him start walking. Got it. Okay, so it's a bad thing. Okay. Phew. I thought that was like a power up thing, if anything. Okay, moving on. So I guess now it probably like nullifies the stun, but it causes overheat now instead. I guess that's what it was. Okay. Dev note: the Soma family photo add-on was much loved, so we added part of its effect to the base kit. To simplify overclock, we have removed the scaling duration and bumped the time up to 5.7 seconds. Okay. They added an aim assist effect to shooting a slipstream survivor. I don't like that. Okay. But they also increased an aim assist when creating a biopod. Okay. When attempting to teleport to a survivor or place a biopod, a slight change could cause your shot to miss or become an invalid spot for a biopod, causing it to do nothing. We have improved the aim assist to linger slightly longer in the last valid last valid place or slipstream survivor. Okay. New passive EMP printing at supply cases is now limited to 97%. The remaining progress must be done manually by a survivor. I don't know if I like that. Okay. It's probably not that long, but I'd still like to think that you can just kind of like open the case up and then you know what I mean. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it feels. Supply cases that have reached the passive printing limit now have their auras revealed in yellow. I like that a lot. Actually, that's really cool. The fact that it never actually told you when it was ready to go check was like a weird thing. You kind of have to like wait like a long time before you can actually like get back into the groove of like using it. So disabled biopods will pulse shortly before they are reactivated. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you never did get notified if it was actually going to do its thing, huh? I never realized that actually. Hmm. That's cool. Decrease the aura reading range of supply cases to 28 meters. It was 32. Okay. Increase the range of EMPs to 10 meters. It was 8. Okay. Decreased immunity to slipstream after using an EMP 2.35 seconds. It was 2. Interesting. Okay. Dev note: EMPs are an essential tool to playing against Singularity, but they can be too plentiful at times, making it hard for the killer to use their power. Survivors will now need to spend a little bit more time to acquire EMPs, and they won't be protected from further substreams after using one. We've added a new VFX to biopods to let survivors know when a pod that has been disabled is about to reactivate. Yeah, that makes sense. Change. Reduce the time it takes to switch back to Singularity to half a second. It was 1, and then reduce the time to take it to switch back to Singularity when a near hook survivor. Wait, sorry, what? Say it again. Reduce the time it takes to switch back to Singularity when near a hook survivor to 1.5 seconds. It was 5. Oh, I guess the chain. Okay, gotcha. The time it might take to Singularity enters a biopod when near a hook survivor probably took too long for them to react during an unhook that it kind of causes that issue. That's kind of fast though by comparison, so we'll see. Since the introduction of the anti-face cam system, this penalty became a little redundant as staying near a hook survivor now carries its own risk. We've reduced this penalty through accessing biopods next to hook survivors. Still may not be ideal. We've also reduced the base wake up time to make swapping back to Singularity feel much more responsive. Now, In respect to fairness, though, the anti-phase cam system is kind of like not good, but I get it. So sure. We have reviewed Singularity add-ons and giving some new effects and balance tweaks to others. Okay, so you know there's your good old fashioned Singularity change. Wow, some medium changes for two killers. That's actually kind of like a lot. Darkness revealed. They increased the aura reveal duration to 8 seconds from 5. Okay, so they added 3 for every tier. Okay. With a longer duration, it will be easier to take advantage of the aura reveal and allow this perk to be used more aggressively in a chase. Okay. I'm all ears. Reduce the cooldown to 30 seconds. It was 40. Oh, I see. So it reduces it by 15 versus 10. Okay. I'm all ears can be very useful, but currently has a fairly long cooldown. We reduce the cooldown so the perk comes into play more often. That's interesting. Cause it's I'm all ears is the perk when they rush route when they do like rush actions like over vaults and windows that you can like see their aura. 30 seconds is like okay. Yeah. I mean I'm sure. They're kind of cool. I don't often see that perk though, so I'm actually intrigued if it'll be used. Trail of Torment reduced cooldown time to 30 seconds from 60. What? A I personally I'm not opposed because uh Trail of Torment is actually kind of like a up and rising perk again. I've been seeing it a lot more frequently, which is cool because I'll tell you what that the Terror Radius music being not being heard is actually like kind of like scary, honestly. You don't often like you can't really tell how to be prepared when you're like looking everywhere looking for a killer. So I'm actually like I'm kind of down for that. I hope that perk doesn't become OP though. I don't know how I don't know like how much stronger it'll be by comparison, but I'm like semi hoping that the perk is still in like a good position where you can actually gain value from it, but not in a position where it's run all the time and it becomes like a really annoying perk, basically. Oppression reduced cooldown to 40 seconds. It was 80. Wow, they cut it in half. Yeah, I mean it does have a very long cooldown, but that's kind of oppressive. Sorry, I had to. I'm so sorry. I know. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. But no, 40 seconds seems like a little too short. We'll kind of wait and see though, because like the fact that the level 1 tier is less time than the level 3 tier in the old version is actually kind of crazy. So I guess oppression is a perk that's not frequently used, and that might explain why it boils down to that. So we'll see kind of how it plays out. Dragon's Grip. This is not a copying and pasting error. We don't need the exact thing for Dragon's Grip. Oh my god, they cut the time in half. Yo, that's kind of scary though. 40 seconds of Dragon's Grip is actually like quite a lot of usage for that perk. Um, that's actually I know that may seem like minor. That's kind of a lot though. In fairness, you never see it anymore. I never see Dragon's Grip, but that timing is actually going to be so nuts. So we'll see. Machine Learning, Trail of Torment, the sequel, if anything, increased duration to 60 seconds. It was 30, so they doubled it. Interesting. Getting Machine Learning to active can be tricky, so we've extended its duration to help the killer get value out of it when it does. Okay, I guess Machine Learning is also a perk that you don't frequently use. So I kind of get that. Auto Didact, okay. Decreased the starting skill check penalty to 15%. It was 25. Oh wow, auto perk. I mean, that's a nice buff. I like that. Auto Didact can become very strong with some luck later in the match, but the large penalty often means it'll do more harm than good. We've toned down this penalty to make it a little more consistent and improve its strength once you've built up your tokens. So I guess they just made the starting skill check, right? So the first one, that means that the percentage boost that you get for getting all the tokens is still the same, but the first one is just not as daunting. I kind of get that though, because personally for me, I currently run auto with botany knowledge just so that it can kind of like go through really quickly, but I feel like with this small change, I might consider not running botany. So we'll see. Empathic connection. Ooh, increase healing speed to 30% from 10? Oh, wait, I really like that. When you used old empathic, it really didn't feel like you ever gained uh any benefit towards the healing. The obvious reason why you use it is so that if people are injured, they can find you, right? And you can like kind of like help them heal up. But I like how these two perks are like together, because I will probably replace botany knowledge with empathic, because one issue with him with botany compared to empathic is that if you use a medkit on yourself with botany, like you don't actually get to heal yourself to full, which like is fine, but it's also not fine, right? Because the medkit obviously is supposed to be used on other people. But now you can actually use a medkit on yourself if you want to, and not have to deal with the penalty of botany. Empathic. I'm really looking forward to this perk. Actually, I think this perk got way stronger as a result. So we'll see. I think it's like a low tier perk now. It's definitely like a high mid perk. Empathic connection is great for showing injured survivors where you are, but the healing speed bonus is a bit low. We've increased it, and we should heal others to 30%. Iron Will. Grunts of pain are reduced by 100%. Oh my god, they brought it back. Oh my god, that's actually incredible. Iron will already make survivors fairly quiet, but even the slightest noise can give away your position. We've increased the effects of the perk and reduced the gap between tiers to make lower tiers more useful. Okay, here's the thing. We again, the lowest tier is better than the old highest tier. The thing is that Iron Will was such a good perk, and personally, I liked Iron Will a lot when I could not be heard. I don't like hearing myself be injured. But I want to take advantage of being injured. I officially I'm actually looking forward to using Iron Will again. Also like rest in peace Spirit, right? Because like Spirit really benefited from the perk from this perk not being used. So now like you actually have really good reason to use it. This perk literally got nuked to the ground when they made this change. So them undoing this change, it's not gonna. The thing is like right now, I feel the meta is like aura and like regression, right? So grunts of pain is not gonna be as like, I mean, people are gonna still benefit from it, but like it's gonna be, you can at least experiment with the build again. I wonder how it would function now in comparison to before, because this perk was like meta for a while. Um, but I think it's also because there weren't as much regression and aura perks. And also Spirit ran rampant. I don't often see Spirit now, so hopefully this perk becomes really good. We'll see. Resurgence. Increased healing granted after being unhooked to 70%. It was 50. Okay. So Resurgence is currently a little weak, and since it can only be activated twice per match, we've increased the healing it grants. Okay. That's cool. I mean, fair change. Again, Resurgence you don't often see, but the recovery on that is actually pretty decent, so. Solidarity. Increased healing conversion rate to 70%. Okay. So they did the same thing as Resurgence percentage-wise. That's cool. Solidarity can be a little tricky to use, requiring you to be injured and find another injured survivor to heal. We have increased the conversion rate to make it even more impactful when it comes to play. Babysitter. Increase the duration of haste and pools of blood hiding to 30 seconds. It was 8. Oh my god. Okay. Babysitter's duration was low, causing it to not provide much value before it ran out. We have extended its duration significantly to make it more impactful. I think this perk might actually end up becoming extremely powerful. Not because of the blood hiding of the pool, because of the haste. Even the haste is like kind of, it's like a small, it doesn't matter. 30 seconds is a lot of time. This perk might become like a super high level perk. But we'll see. Hook respawn. Oh. New. Hooks that a survivor has been sacrificed on will repair themselves after 60 seconds. Oh. I don't... Maybe it's my matches. I don't ever notice when that matters, that they don't come back. Interesting. With hooks remaining permanently broken, it could create some dead zones where it was impossible to get a survivor to a hook before they could go free. Now, when a survivor is sacrificed on a hook, it will automatically be repaired after 60 seconds. So I feel like this is something that occurs in a high level playstyle, like a high level match. This occurs. I don't think this occurs in like a match that I would be found in. I don't deliberately get people sacrificed in a certain area so I can dead zone. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I like that. Um but I also haven't noticed it when I'm playing anyways, so it probably doesn't matter. But I think it's going to matter a lot more in like high MMR matches compared to like mine. So that's interesting. Map variants. Ooh, added layout variations to the Yamaoka estate maps. Okay, and they added layouts to the Mount Ormond resort map. Ooh, okay. Is there any pictures? No. We've added new possible layouts for each of these three maps. While the layout of these variants are different, they'll include the same iconic features, landmarks, decorations, etc., and are a similar size to the originals. Interesting. I wonder why these maps of all places. Is it because these haven't been touched at all in like a long time, or is it because they're like not good maps? I don't know. Overall though, this is a pretty cool update. Um, Definitely the biggest W is the buff to a whole bunch of perks that survivors have, but also some cool updates to perks that I feel like are on the lower side of usage for killers as well. And hopefully those changes actually kind of incorporate the I almost feel like they're listening to me, but they definitely have no idea who I am. I like when they buff perks that don't get used or are very bad. Although they still haven't updated what's that perk that Huntress has? The one in the basement. They buffed it, but it sucks. You know what I mean? Um I forget what it's called. It's okay. I never see it. It never gets used. But I would like for them to try to keep on working on perks that you can actually see have more usage, not because of how bad they are, but also how infrequent they're used. But like perks that are infrequently used get buffed to be used more frequently, right? But the ones that are infrequently used and bad don't really get looked at, I feel like. So I'd like for them to actually do that. And they don't gotta like giga buff them. They gotta just change them and see just if they can be used or not. Singularity update is cool, and the night update is also pretty cool. So all in all, cool cool update. Honestly, this is probably like one of the better updates that I've like reacted to in comparison to other ones. And definitely we'll see kind of how things come into play. So, hey, developer update, solid win so far. I think a lot of this is a good win for both survivors and killers. So, hopefully, we can get more insight on this in the future. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoy, and we will take a crack at this when we can in future PTB/release date. So, take care.